a special welcome to everyone who's new here. My name is Odessa. I'm the Mystic Intuitive Healer. I'm a psychic medium, Reiki Master, spiritual coach, and an intuitive tarot card reader. And through the work I'm doing here on YouTube, as well as Instagram, TikTok, and my own website, odessamal.com, I deliver messages to you that will help you to awaken, heal, align, and grow. So today is another special Halloween season reading. I am looking into what makes you a spicy devil. So I'm going to be looking at basically what your sensual energy is like, but also how you're spicy in other areas of your life, and possibly how you're a little bit naughty or a little bit bad. So this one's going to be really, really fun. We've been doing quite a few readings that were all about healing and a little bit heavy. And I'm going to get back to some of those topics in the future, but I thought we could do something a little bit fun today. And if you're seeing this after the Halloween season, that is totally okay. All of my readings are timeless. So whenever you find it, it's perfectly timed to what's going on in your life. So I have 3 piles for you guys to select from. Pile number 1 is partnered with the black candle with the purple ribbon and the devil card from the Dang Olsen Tarot. And then pile number 2 is partnered with the pink candle with the red ribbon and Ziki Arcana's devil card. And then pile number 3 is the white candle with the blue ribbon. And then this is the devil card from the Tarot of the Divine. So I'm going to give you guys a close-up of the items and the cards in just a second, and I'll see you at your pile. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome back. So you picked the black candle and you also picked the Dang Olsen devil card. So this is going to be your first card. And like I said in the intro, I'm looking into what makes you guys a spicy devil. So this is going to be in terms of love, but far beyond that. So in general, how do people read your energy of passion and, your level of spiciness? What does that look like for you in particular? So it could also include some things that they find a little triggering about you or things that are a little bit naughty about you. So let's find out what you have. Okay, so first card is Tea Leaves, Foresight. Then you have the love card, tomato. There's the symbol for Libra and the alchemical symbol for water, followed by the animal card, Jay-Z, the nightingale, the fox, 9 of cups, the bluff card with Jupiter and Gemini on it, the vase card, it says secret admirer, and the elements, the element of fire, air, earth, and water combine to create powerful protective boundaries, spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional. Nice. Okay, so right away, I'm getting strong sensual energy from these cards. I mean, to start off with, you did get the love card, but you also have this secret admirer card, and I also get this sort of like raw passion energy from this animal card. So I think that you're a very sensual person. I think that when people meet you, they can sort of feel this animal magnetism, and they might feel like you would probably be amazing in bed, super experimental, somebody who really like leans into pleasure and you let your instincts take over. You might either be, or you may come across as somebody who is kind of up for anything and will try anything once, is the energy that I get also from the animal card. I think that you are someone who has a lot of like power and strength and comes across as a leader, possibly in all areas of your life, but definitely in terms of love. I think that you come across as a prize, and people may want to be sort of your Beyonce to your Jay-Z. Or they might see you as potentially being able to play that role in their life. And I think that you're a person that is pleasure seeking, is part of the energy I get, especially with this 9 of Cups. I think that you like to have nice things and eat nice food, and possibly in terms of dating, you might like to keep your options open and you're not necessarily looking to settle down. Or this could have been your energy in the past if you have found that one special person. I get the energy that, especially with the Gemini on this bluff card, that you might get bored with people or situations, right? Like, so you might be a person who's had a lot of different hobbies, or you've tried a lot of different career fields, not necessarily sure what direction you want to go in. You seem to be able to like make it work though. Like, you seem to have lucky energy and you bounce back from things. But when it comes to love, I feel like maybe in the past, you might have been caught up in some of this devil energy where you may have been sort of like trying to keep your options open, but you weren't that honest with the people that you were connecting with. I do get the energy that wasn't that serious, but your energy was sort of like, well, why do I need to tell them that I'm dating other people if we've only been out on 3 dates? Now you're really upfront. Or if you're not there yet, you're gonna be this way very soon, where you're upfront with people and you tell them, I'm not really looking for anything serious right now. So if you want to hang out and, you know, like we can have some fun together, amazing. I love hanging out with you, but I'm also like seeing other people, and you're straight up with them. Now, I do get the energy that there's been situations in the past, or possibly there will be in the future, where people will be like very, you know, accepting of that initially, but in the back of their mind, they're thinking, I'll win them over. I'll win them over. They just don't know how amazing I am yet. I know I'll be able to win them over. And then we're gonna like have this future together. It's like the foresight card. Like, they're dreaming of this future that the two of you guys are gonna share. And meanwhile, you're like having fun with a lot of different people, because like I said, I think you get a little bit bored because you have a lot of different interests, and I think that you have a lot to bring to the table, and not everyone can keep up with that kind of energy. And you're looking for that power couple sort of connection. And in the meantime, you don't want to be like on your own or celibate. So you're taking time with different people, and when you're with a particular person, you're enjoying what they have to offer. But it's like, you don't want to eat the same toppings on your pizza every single day. You know, you're ordering a different pizza every night. Sometimes you don't want to have pizza at all. Sometimes you want to have sushi. You know, like, they don't get that. They're like, no, I only want to have cheese pizza every night. You're like, that's so boring. And that's part of the reason why you're telling them, I don't want to get serious. They don't realize that it's because you don't see them as a match, but they're in denial about that, right? Like, you don't want to hurt their feelings, but the truth is that if there was that spark, you would have been honest with them, because you have that sort of like, let your instincts guide you kind of energy. Like, I think that you've been in whirlwind romances. Like, when it heats up, it's fiery, and you may have had a situation where it like kind of fizzles out as quickly as it heats up, but you have had those experiences where you meet someone and you're like all eyes on them. And for some of you, that was the person that took you off the market, and you're happy with them. And this energy of sort of like keeping your options open is in the past, like I was mentioning before. But for others of you, you know, you're still waiting to find that right person that's going to be able to give you the balance, like the Libra card. Sorry, the Libra symbol on this love card. And I think that this passion that you have in terms of love, you bring to other areas of your life. So I think that you have really solid friendships with people that like are just as wild and free as you. And when you meet, it was like instant chemistry. You know, I get this energy of artistic people that are super passionate and maybe different. You might be like a little bit different and unusual to the average person. And so when you see a good thing, you recognize it and you guys are creating cool things together, or you're having cool conversations, and everyone that you're surrounded by that you're really connected with has that same magnetism about them as you. But likewise, in terms of friendships, as I was getting that energy and love, there are those people that might feel sort of resentment towards you. Like you have this sort of devil, fox, bluff energy where they feel a little bit slighted. Either like you lied to them, which you didn't. You were honest with them about not wanting to settle down with them or get serious with them. They just didn't want to accept that. But there might also be situations where there's people that want to be your friend, and you just know that there's nothing there to sustain a friendship. It's almost like they're idolizing you, which isn't really healthy for a sustainable friendship, because then they're putting you on this pedestal and they're going to end up actually siphoning a lot of energy away from you, where they want a lot of advice from you, or they want to like sort of mirror you. They're trying to sort of like change themselves to be like you, whereas you want to be around people that are just as passionate and driven as you, but they have their own thing going on. They have their own brand. They're not trying to like copy you. And some people may sort of reveal themselves early on that that's sort of their energy, and you just are polite and you just, you know, don't pursue a friendship with them, and they feel sort of like upset about it. But that's not really your problem, right? Like that's more of a them issue. And I think I just kept hearing karma. So it might be a situation where you're actually playing the role of a karmic in their life. And yeah, they might see you in terms of this devil energy, like, and they may have had like, you may have had verbal conflict with people, or there might have been like I'm getting the word sparring, and I'm getting the energy of sort of like the 5 of Wands, where there's sort of like conflicting minds and people sort of battling to present their opinion. And you may have hurt some people's feelings at times, because I think that and maybe this is energy from the past, or maybe it's energy you embody now. I just get the energy that if somebody is going to deliver a low blow, you will go there. You can go there. That's not your first step by all means, but if they're going to go there and play dirty, you're okay with that. We can do that if you want, because you don't have any qualms about like cutting somebody off, right? If they're going to play dirty, then you're happy to like match that energy and then completely cut them out of your life. And to a certain degree, maybe some people haven't expected that. And I get the energy that it isn't that you're trying to be mean. It's that you're having strong boundaries. So if they're going to try and take something away from you or smear your reputation, you will be brutally honest about how things went down. You're not going to keep anybody's secrets for them. And you're not necessarily going to like embody like, I'm just going to be the bigger person. Fine. You know, I know who I am and I know what I said. So I don't need to go out and tell people. that, you know, they stole money from me or they did this or they did that. I'm just going to ignore it because I don't want to be friends with them anymore anyways. And you're like, nope, I am going to tell these people that this person, you know, like called my work and, you know, spread these lies or did whatever, like something crazy. And you will be completely open about that. And I think you will also stand your ground to people that are in positions of authority. So you're the kind of energy that in the workplace, maybe your bosses might have thought you were a little bit spicy, where you're like, they'll ask you to do something and you're like, but that doesn't make any sense. Why would I do step 4 and 5 before I've done step 1, 2, and 3, right? Like I need to have 1, 2, and 3, and they think you're being argumentative, but in reality, they really shouldn't have their jobs. They really shouldn't be in positions of authority because they don't have the leadership skills or they don't have the ability to have the foresight to be able to anticipate the problems before they, you know, happen. And you're able to see the writing on the wall, and they know that, and so they may be nasty towards you. And you may have also been in situations in work or in school, possibly, I don't know, it depends on the program. Sometimes professors and teachers can have this energy as well, where you will lay down firm boundaries about like what you will do to, you know, it's kind of like this quiet quitting or work to rule energy. And quiet quitting and work to rule are the same thing. The original name for quiet quitting was work to rule. So basically, if you haven't heard of this before, it is the concept that you have signed a contract and you're only going to fulfill that contract. So if you're paid to work a certain amount of hours, take on a certain number of responsibilities, and be a support to X number of people on the team, that is the role that you're going to do, and you're going to do it beautifully, but you're not going to go above and beyond trying to get somebody's attention in the hopes that you'll get a raise or a promotion. You are fully committed to the fact that you cannot trust capitalism, and you're doing this so that you can sustain your lifestyle. But what your passion in life is your hobbies or your side hustle or the people that you're connected with, and it has nothing to do with like your job. That's not the be all and end all of your life. And you may be a person that like clocks out. Like if you're meant to leave at 5, you're done at 5. And if somebody comes to you with a problem at, you know, 5:15, you're like, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to take this up tomorrow, I'm leaving for the day, right? Which you have every right to do, but other people, especially coworkers, might see that as very spicy because they don't have the courage to do that for themselves. And they might see you as embodying this devil energy and being selfish, but everyone needs to stand up and have firm boundaries, right? You're actually being a great role model to them. And there might have been times when you sort of like shocked people. The Nightingale is an interesting card to come forward because you might be sort of unassuming at first. Like you might be so, you know, like they just see you as someone who's sort of like quiet, or they see you as someone who just sort of, you know, not necessarily someone who's like standing out or somebody who will really like stand up for themselves, because the nightingale is a bird that's just plain. It's just brown. It looks like many other birds. It doesn't have anything that like makes it vibrant and really like eye-catching, but it's its song. Once it starts singing, it starts standing out from all the rest. So this also makes me think that you're standing up, maybe you're sharing a message that is spicy. So you maybe are somebody who will like tell really like dirty jokes, or you talk about political issues and you say things that nobody else would say. It's like major shock value. And I think that the people that get you just love you for that. They absolutely love you. And like, you might be a little bit of a trickster too with this fox energy, where there might be times when you sort of play with people a little bit, where you'll say something that you know will be triggering to them just to see what their reaction is. Now, maybe that's something that you embodied before, but I definitely get this strong spiciness when it comes to like your words. And I also get the energy that you will completely go to bat for those that you love. So it's like this energy of like, if you are going after them, you're going after me too, and I am going to fight. So, and I really like that. I feel like you are like loyal to a fault is the energy that just came forward, which is very, very cool. Now I want to get a little more information about what makes you such a spicy devil. I'm definitely getting the energy too that your style might be like just really out there. Like, I kind of get the energy that if everyone is wearing like gray and black and you know, navy to the office, you will show up in like head to toe color and pattern. You do not shy away from wearing things that are expressive, and you may also be tempted to like kind of be even more out there, especially when people tell you that you can't do something. Like, the minute someone says you can't do something, that's the minute you want to do it, right? Like, your parents tell you to sort of keep the political conversations or the spiritual conversations or whatever to a minimum, or like to not talk about that stuff at all around certain relatives, and you're like, that is the first subject that you'll bring up with them, even though you said, oh yeah, no problem. I feel like that's your role. That's your role. Yes, amazing. You have bamboo, core strength, and diligence. Like, you know who you are. You have core strength. And I think you understand that sometimes putting a fire underneath people really forces them to sort of confront their own insecurities, and ultimately can be something that is very powerful. Like, you might end up breaking somebody's heart at some point, and then they come back later on and they thank you for, you know, basically ending the relationship because it was the catalyst to something else that was really great and important in their life. It was really painful at the time, but everything ended up working out, which I think is beautiful. You also got dragon fruit, victor and victory. Yes, this kind of attitude is definitely this spicy devil energy is going to be bringing you a lot of victory, and I think it brings you all of this strong passion. I think that you're going to end up trying a lot of new things, expressing yourself in new ways. I just get the energy of somebody who really likes to go and travel and go and try different types of food and go out dancing and to like, and you go to a club where maybe you've never ever salsa danced before, and you go just on a whim out to you know, a club that's around the corner from you, like on your own, and you end up making a whole bunch of friends that, you know, like, and you had never even tried salsa dancing before. You were just like, yeah, that'd be fun, and you just go and try it, which I love that energy. Very experimental, but also extremely self-sufficient. You got rosemary, remembrance. You are a person that people remember forever. And rosemary is often used for cleansing. So yeah, it's going back to the energy I was talking about before, where you might hurt people, you don't mean to, and they might hold a grudge, but ultimately later on, they will be thankful. And it might take a really long time for them to get to that. Yeah, you just got the Black Dahlia, betrayal and dishonesty. You might have been dishonest with people. You may have betrayed people in the past. This might have been an energy that you have honed, right? Like the Devil card isn't always negative. That's why I was really excited about doing this reading and selecting this particular topic, because the Devil energy, when it's in the shadow, when we're denying that we have these needs or we have these lusts and passions, that's when it gets problematic. When we're aware of that and we're unapologetic about what we need, possibly even to some appearing to be a little selfish, then we can use that to our benefit to craft the life that we want, and it will be on other people's shoulders to like stand up for themselves, because you know, if the energies are not jiving, that's okay, as long as everyone is honest, and you can just either play by different rules or you just separate, right? But I think that you've learned that. I think you've learned that, and I think that there's a reason why this is sort of a dark angel. Like you've learned to see things from a higher perspective, which I really, really, really love. Okay. And you've got Hen and Chicks, challenging environment and endurance. And there's the number 3 here. There's 3 of these little dragons. Then there's 3 of these tomatoes. Then there was this bluff card is also 3. So you definitely might have had this third party energy before, where you were sort of seeing a couple of people and maybe they knew and maybe they didn't, or you know, you might have been tied up with somebody else that was putting you in a third party situation. It can be challenging, especially if you are a straight woman dating straight men, because they want to be able to date multiple people, but they don't want the women that they're dating to have their options open. They want to, like, I don't know, it's weird. I find it really, really weird. It's kind of defeats the whole point of dating. Like the whole point of dating is that you get to know a whole bunch of people in the hopes that one of them you really, really click with. And if not, then you should just be having fun. You know, straight men typically don't understand that. And so it can be really challenging if those are, you know, if that's the pool that you're pulling from for your love life. But it could also be talking about the challenge that you may have in the workplace as well. Because like I was saying, depending on the boss that you have or the work environment or the co-workers, this kind of energy can also be a little challenging. I find it really exciting. I like this kind of spiciness. So I just want to get you guys a little bit of advice from Spirit on what you can do to sort of like, yes. Oh, okay. All right. So the advice. Yes. Oh my God. I love it. I love it. I love it. First card that you got is the Fool. Beginning of the journey. Allow your instincts to guide you forward. Listen to your intuition. If it hurts other people, I mean, as long as you're not doing it intentionally and you're on the up and up, right? Like to hurt somebody's feelings because you decided that you didn't want to date them exclusively because you didn't think there was more than, you know, something casual there. There's no shame in that. As long as you're honest with them and you're saying like, sorry, there's nothing here. There's no shame even in like potentially moving jobs or losing a job because you have boundaries and you don't want to like give everything of yourself. You just need to have faith that there's a reason for all of this, right? And it will lead you to something really beautiful. You got the Goof of Swords, and you've got the Seeker of Swords as well. So this is talking about a transition and the way that you think. It's talking about a new idea coming through to you, and then it's giving you steps forward. It's going to tell you exactly what actions to take in terms of this, you know, basically, as long as you're listening to your intuition, you can't go wrong. But sometimes your intuition might tell you to do things that you don't really want to do, and that's where it's going to be challenging, where you have to sort of face your fears. So like I said, it might be a situation where your intuition is telling you, I really should tell that person I'm not that into them. And, you know, your ego is telling you, just leave them on red. You only went out with them a couple of times. It would be way more beneficial to you to listen to your intuition and tell that person, even if it's hard, even if it sort of like makes you feel uncomfortable, because karmically, it's going to bring you greater rewards. The Judgment card is talking about raising your vibration and you sort of like learning a new skill and seeing things from a higher perspective. And that's going to bring you victory with this Six of Wands. So you're going to have a lot more victories, a lot more success in your life, and possibly public recognition, where maybe some of the people that had sort of doubted your energy or doubted, you know, whether you were trustworthy or not, they're going to see you in a totally different light, and it will shift the energy. So maybe if you start doing that in terms of your romantic life, that energy will sort of spill over into your career. You might not be acting differently at work, but like the opportunities start to unfold there. But honestly, I'm really impressed with you guys. I like your spiciness. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I would love to know. You can leave me a comment. If you don't feel like commenting, maybe you could like the reading or you could share it. And if anyone's interested in working with me one-on-one, you can go to my website, odessamall.com. All of my services and booking information is available there. I do tarot card readings, spiritual coaching, Reiki, and past life readings, and I also can channel messages from your spirit guides. If you have any questions about that, you can feel free to reach out to me. My email address is info@odessamall.com. And I also have a form on my website that will pop up when you go over there. And this was a pleasure, guys. I hope that you have an amazing day or night, depending on what time you're watching this. And I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome back. So you picked the pink candle and you also picked the devil card from the Ziki's Arcana. So this is going to be your first card, and I'm going to be looking into what makes you a spicy devil. So this is going to be in terms of love, your career, basically things that are going to sort of heat things up for you, but some people may take that energy the wrong way, so we'll see what comes out. So far, it's been a really cool reading. Okay, first card you got is Lots, Chance, Wholeness, the black mulberry. There's the symbol for water. Aquarius is on this card as well. You got the Friendship card and the Casanova card. Okay. The Beaver card, also with the symbol for water. And you got the Firefly card with the symbol for air. Oh my God, you got another devil card. The Domination card, and there is Sagittarius as well as Mars on this card. Then Intuition with Cancer and Mercury. The Beetle, Good Fortune. And finally, On Target, Follow Your Ideal Life Path. All right, pile number 2. Okay, so first of all, you obviously really definitely embody a lot of this devil energy for it to come out again. So the devil energy can be talking about self-indulgences. This can be talking about somebody who puts a lot of emphasis on pleasure, status, personal appearance. And all of the energies of the devil, all of the things that are sort of the powers of the devil can be used for, positive outcomes in our life. It's just a matter of whether we rule that energy or whether that energy rules us. So there's definitely a feeling here a little bit where you may have caused people a little bit of discomfort, or they might even be a little bit afraid of you, like they might be intimidated by you and not even know you. I think that you're definitely a person that takes a lot of chances with the lots. You, I think, take risks, and maybe you take chances on different, it's possible that you take chances in terms of career and things pay off for you, but I just heard the word bully. So this might be a situation where you're in an industry where it's really cutthroat and you really have to like go toe to toe, and you are there to get ahead and not make friends, like this feels like there's plenty of different industries that are like this, but real estate, especially if you're in like commercial real estate or law or business and finance, that kind of like take no prisoners kind of energy because of the domination card as well. And some people just might not like that about you, right? Like, especially if you are a woman. If you have that sort of what's defined typically as masculine energy, that might rub people the wrong way, and they may use the B word for you when really that is their issue. They're not comfortable with a woman in power or a woman who is that is taking risks, doing things differently, and it's paying off, like that you're winning. And that might be you decide that you're going to have a career or start your own business, and you're not going to get married and you're not going to have kids, and they're like, no, she's a witch. Like, that might be the energy, because the reason I say that she's a witch is these lots, these are called witches' runes, and they have different symbols on them. So I think that's so funny though. I think that you, unlike the opinions of others, are actually somebody who diligently works at their goals and has a big heart. You are whole, or at least that's what you're working up towards. The beaver, definitely a symbol of somebody who works really, really hard and carries heavy labors. Like, think of how much work it is for these beavers. It's typically a pair of beavers doing, like, creating these massive dam structures, carrying all of these felled logs. And I mean, I think it's an incredible amount of work. And you got the wholeness card here as well, and they both have the alchemical symbol for water on them. So I feel like you have a lot of heart. You know who you are. You're in balance, and you're ready to put in the work. And for some people, that might rub them the wrong way, like I said, and they feel like you're being too dominant or you're bullying them. But I think that you're just part of this innovation energy that Aquarius is bringing to this reading. That you're just different from, maybe what they're used to. Maybe, they haven't ever met somebody like you before, and that is intimidating and triggering to them. So to them, they're painting you with this brush of the devil energy. And this could be literally in so many different areas. This could be people, you're part of the LGBTQ community, and they're like devil energy, or you're part of the BIPOC community, devil energy. We don't understand that, like spiritual. Devil energy. Like, if you're spiritual, I mean, so many times too, people are really frightened, and they truly, in the literal sense, they think that what we do is devil work. And you just are an innovator. you're very intuitive. And I think that that could also lead them to be painting you with this devil energy brush, where it's like you either know exactly when to take action on something, like you know when there's a great opportunity in work, you know what the right thing to say is, you can read their mind, you can tell when someone is good, you can tell when somebody is bad. And that, I think, is also an energy that you embody in terms of love. I think you have a lot of admirers. Casanova, you are someone who I think has the art of flirting down pat, and I get the energy that you can use your assets to your benefit, and you probably use them in terms of your work as well. And once again, if you're a woman and you're using your assets to get ahead and get the to close a deal, or get a meeting with someone, there's plenty of people that will say, oh, well, you're just a pretty woman, and you had this advantage, and you didn't earn it. It's like, well, you didn't create the system. You didn't create this misogynistic system where men underestimate women, and they will do things just because a woman with a pretty face smiled at them. Like they're getting mad at the wrong person is basically what I'm saying. You use what you have to your advantage. And I think that you cultivate relationships, and you, I think that you're also possibly bringing sexiness to the workplace to a certain degree. I'm strongly getting this, like, I'm not saying that you may be a man and some of the messages that are coming forward won't resonate for you, but for this particular channeled message, I'm directly talking to my female viewers. I get the sense that you might have been critiqued for what you were wearing. Like they're like critiquing you because they think that your skirt is too short or your top is too tight. And I mean, you're wearing totally normal work attire, but the men in the office just can't get past that energy, and like they're seeing you as this negative influence, and it's really them not being able to control their hormones that's the issue, not you. Now, there may have been a situation where you might be coming from pile one, because this energy came out in pile one as well, where you might like to play the field, and you might like to date a lot of different people, and you don't like to settle down, and you're looking for someone who can stand next to you and be as strong as you, and you are not going to settle for less. And you might like to sample a lot of different fruit, basically. And you may be very honest, or you may be not as forthright in that regards. But I kind of get the energy that you're a little bit secretive, like you kind of hold back. You're not open with everyone about your private life. You don't feel like you need to let somebody that you've gone on 2 dates with know that you're dating other people, because there may not even be a third date. So why do you have to, like, on date one, just so you know, I'm not looking for, no. And if they have a problem with that, that's okay. That's the energy that I'm getting from this particular card. I think that you're very vibrant, and you like really light up a room. I'm strongly getting that from the Firefly card, but I'm also getting that from this friendship card. I think that you have large groups of people that consider you a good friend, even if you might not. It's weird, because sometimes people that are very like magnetic, they don't really feel like they have any friends, but everyone else that knows them considers them one of their best friends. So you may not just be having your needs met from these other people, but they definitely feel like you bring a lot to their life, is the energy I'm getting. Because I mean, there's this head above these people that are all in a circle. It kind of has this, like, you're on a pedestal kind of vibe, like all your friends think you're amazing. And like, they, like I said, they might not feel like friends to you. This might be people that really support your work and they're fans of yours. That might be the situation. Like, you might be famous, or you're on social media and you have a following, and there's like, you have 100,000 followers and they all think of you as a friend, but you don't feel like, you feel like you're all on your own. But you light up a room. Like, you light up a room. You might not just illuminate, like, it might not just be your energy where you walk into a room where it's like sort of that like actor model type of energy where it's like, whoa, who's that? It might also be the things that you're saying too. I'm strongly getting that with this air energy, that you are saying things potentially, especially with Mercury here. You're saying things that maybe excite people, but you might also be saying things that really shock people too, also with that innovative energy. You might be the type of person that like points out people's faults or flaws, and you don't necessarily even recognize that you're doing it. It's kind of like ADHD, autistic type of like, just like blunt. And I'm not diagnosing you. I'm just saying that, you know, you might be looking at things through a different lens, and where you see some sort of oddity in terms of social structures or somebody specifically their behavior, you see it as like obvious, others don't. And that also might make them feel like you're this devil energy. I've had that in my life because I'm psychic. I see everything. Like, I meet somebody before they've even opened their mouth. I can read their energy. So I can see things, and I had to really work to like get to a point where I didn't reveal those things, because I finally realized that not everyone has these gifts. But I mean, it was dicey there at times. But you have definitely created a lot of good fortune and success. I think that either you're following your ideal life path, or you're already fulfilling your life purpose. Like, you're on track for this, or you're already doing it. And that also might be something that either people love about you, or they find it really sort of triggering. Like, you might be doing and saying things that they wish they could do and say, but they're not, so they demonize you for it. And they find you just sort of maybe a little bit too much flavor, you know? Like, they might see you as, like, they're more comfortable in a beige world, and you're like rainbow colored. And they're like, no, we can't have any of that. It's too much, it's too much, it's too much. But I feel like you're bringing forward this foundation that's needed in the world. Like, okay, so the Devil card is number 15. So that reduces down to the number 6. The Wholeness card is the number 33, also reducing down to the number 6, which is like the Star of David. The 6-pointed star is talking about balance, because it's two alchemical symbols superimposed on top of each other. Then we've got card number 9, which is talking about nearing the end of a cycle, and card number 4, which is talking about the balance. So you are bringing in balance. 4 is foundations. So you're bringing in balance. You're helping close out an old cycle. I feel like it's a lot of dogma. There's a lot of religious symbolism on here. So maybe you're an atheist, or maybe you're part of a community that churches have really, tried to exclude, or they've tried to control. And you're like, no, I'm not having it. I'm pointing the way forward, and you're giving people an alternative. Maybe you're spiritual. A lot of people want to have a relationship with spirit, God, but the churches, as they have been structured, exclude free thinking, and they exclude a whole bunch of different lifestyles. And you're like, nope, nope, no, this doesn't work for me. So I'm just going to create my own thing. And others might be really pressed because of that. And they're like, they see you as this devil energy, but I think you're quite exciting and unique. I'm strongly being brought back to this Casanova card, where I feel like you lean into sort of the theater of life too, because they're Casanova is holding this mask from it's like a Viennese mask from like a costume party, a ball. And I feel like you know how to wear different masks and you know how to evolve and change. And maybe that is something else that people really don't like, you know, that it gets under their skin, that you adapt and change and you present yourself a different way depending on who you're with, because you are trying to get your goal, get to your goal. You're trying to get them to do what you need them to do. And that's the art of negotiation. You know, like if you're, say, trying to raise money for a startup, yeah, you got to say the right things to the right people to get them to like you. It's not just about the idea. They're not just investing in the idea, they're investing in you. You get that. Some people will think no. And they'll come up with a whole bunch of reasons why, you know, you don't deserve what you got, whether they mine into your past and they find, you know, like that your family had some, you know, means, or whether it's something else. But yeah, like I don't know. I'm really enjoying every one of these readings. I feel like your energy is so cool. And it's so interesting to see how there's that duality, because I was fully expecting that in some of these readings I was going to find this problematic energy, and nobody's perfect. I'm sure like there may have been people where you were like not honest with them about wanting to date other people and they got their heart broken. But for the most part, I feel like you're unjustly being labeled as devil. So let's find out a little bit more about your spicy devil energy. Oh my God, as if, yes. You got yew tree, ancestors, and resurrection, renewal of spirit. That's what I was talking about. Like there might be something like, you know, your family has some money and they helped you, or they helped you get a connection or something so that you could get your first job, or, you know, get, you know, seed money for something. And like, did you have an advantage because you had this connection? Absolutely. But I also get the sense that there's a lot more to it than just having that fresh start. Like, you also understand about taking chances, and you work really hard, the beaver card here, and you understand how to work the room, so to speak, to get ahead. If you had just been given the money, you still wouldn't have been successful, because you needed to know how to sort of schmooze and like work with all of these different energies, all these different people. So that's really interesting. You got balance of opposite, healthy relationships. So that's interesting. So you might be somebody who actually might be very spicy for some people, but all in all, I feel like you really like to work with people that are quite different from you. That as a leader or as a boss, I think you're somebody who would hire people that have different skills to you, that you're not interested in hiring people that are carbon copies of you. You need people that are in your corner, that are going to be able to see problems arise that you can't see. And that is really powerful. And that's the mark of somebody who's a really great leader, because it shows that you're not threatened by what they're bringing to the table. I really like that energy. That's really cool. What makes okay. Oh, you got mandrake, the right ingredients. There you go. You got the right ingredients. You also have thistle, double-edged sword, duality, and you got dandelion, wishes, and determination. So you have wishes. You're very stubborn in your pursuit of your goals, but it is a double-edged sword. I do get the energy where, like, if there is two options and basically, sometimes you will make decisions that are self-serving so that you can get ahead, and it might cause discomfort to other people, but you're working towards a greater goal. It's kind of like you're putting what you're trying to create, you're putting the needs of the many above the needs of the few, but at this particular point in time, the few might be really upset by that. And you may have done things in the past, or possibly right now. We're not perfect. You're going to make mistakes at times, and you might have two sides to you where you are sort of promising. I'm talking out of both sides of your mouth. So you might promise the same thing to two different groups, and you can only deliver to one. And that also might be causing people to, have this sort of devil energy around you, like to see you in that light. And that might not resonate for all of you. So let me see if I can get a little bit of advice for you guys on basically what you can do with this spicy devil energy, how you can sort of use this to create even more positive opportunities for you, or highlight it even more. Oh, that's quite a few cards. Let's try that again. The same cards came out. Oh, that's funny. Oh boy. Okay, this is a lot. Let's see. You've got a lot of fiery energy. There are so many wands cards. So you have 5 cards that are wands. And only 2 pentacles, 1 sword, 1 cup, and then 1 major arcana card. Okay, so let's start off with these. Oh, no, that's a sword as well. Okay, so the energy I get is that there could be situations where you are in a battle, right? You're trying to win and sort of have a solid position. You're trying to like get ahead in some way. And you might be working with people that possibly are seeing, the energy I'm getting is that you are battling for some outcome, but you're dealing with people that maybe are either younger than you, or they're at the beginning of their careers, or they're maybe a little bit less mature than you are, and maybe they're a little bit more fragile than you are, with all of this seeker and goof energies. So the seeker is the page, and then the goof is the knight. So you've got the page of cups and the page of pentacles, and then you've also got the knight of pentacles. So basically what I'm seeing here is, oh, and you also got the seeker of swords. So there's a lot of young energy here. So it might be a situation where you need to be a little more supportive of the people that are sort of on the lower rungs of the ladder, maybe are just starting out, because it's kind of the energy of be nice to people when you're on your way up, because they'll remember you when you're on your way down, and our lives go up and down. And I feel like you're about to close out a cycle, and you are gonna have your shifts come in. This is the the 9 of wands, and then the 3 of wands. And things are gonna align really, really quickly for you, where I think either you're gonna meet somebody, like it's gonna be that solid relationship, possibly in business, could be romantic. This could be signing the contract or getting the promotion, or, you know, being offered the job title that you really wanted. And it's going to help you to fulfill, you know, your dreams and gain the status that you want. But there will be more success for you if you can carry these people with you, if you can sort of like keep them in your back pocket, make peace with them, release any kind of baggage. If there's any beef with these people, I would just give up the fight, you know, just not go there, not maybe hold your position as firmly, and sort of release whatever. I just got the word toxicity. So if there's any toxic energy associated with any of these people, I would release the baggage, let it go. This particular figure is literally holding people in his hands. You know, help those people to release the baggage as well. Be kind to them, because like I said, you're going to get your success, and you don't maybe have to like fight as hard as you think you need to get your goal. And like I said, if there's a situation in the future where all of a sudden you hit a rough patch, it will be beneficial to you to have these people seeing you in a positive light. But other than that, I mean, everything is so on point. I really, really like your energy. I think that you are fiery and feisty in all of the right ways. Like, I really, really like your feisty, fiery devil energy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I would love to know how this resonated for you. If you want to share it in the comments, you could also like. If you don't feel like sharing a comment, that's totally okay. You could share. If you wanted to join the family and subscribe, that would be amazing. I would love to have you. And if anyone's interested in working with me one-on-one, you can go to my website, odessamall.com. All of my services and booking information are available there. I do tarot card readings, spiritual coaching, Reiki, past life readings, and I can channel messages from your spirit guides. So thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next reading. Take care. Hi, file number 3, welcome back. So you picked the white candle with the blue ribbon, and you also picked the devil card from the Tarot of the Divine. So this is going to be your first card, and I'm looking into what makes you a spicy devil. So I'm going to be looking at love, career, basically your entire life. I'm going to be seeing how you embody this sort of devil energy and how people react to that. Basically, you know, the fiery energy within you, the things that make you spicy and exciting and different. Some people love it. Some people may see it as like kind of the negative side of the devil energy. We will see. What cards do you have? You have book, knowledge. You also have strength, fennel. There is Virgo on this card, the symbol for fire. You also got dreams, Oscar Wilde, vulture with the air symbol, whale with the water symbol, 3 of Pentacles, flirtation with Venus and Sagittarius. Then you got fire, strong emotions, passionate love or hate, heart, love, deep affection and caring. And then you also got little luxuries, generates luxurious experiences and surroundings. Okay, this is very cool. So you have some really intense love energy that is around you. Obviously, out of all 3 piles, you probably have the most passionate love cards that have come forward with the heart, the fire, and the flirtation card. You are driving people crazy with desire. They are really lusting after you. you might have a lot of admirers, and you have a blend of people that are like hot, passionate flings, and then people that are really interested in you and really want to have something deeper. You may be part of a third party situation right now. And I mean, like, you might be the one that's sort of like, and actually, all three piles had this energy where it's like, you have your pick of the litter, basically, you know, like, you don't have to just, you know, go with the first option that comes along. You can be selective, and you're dating more than one person. And I feel for you, you might have experienced a lot of like passionate energy that may have a tendency to sort of fizzle out. I get that from Oscar Wilde, who is flamboyant and just really like this energy of I keep hearing schoolboy crushes. Is so you might have a lot of like short-term romances where you're crushing really hard on someone and then it fizzles out. But when it is going, it's hot and heavy, and there's just a lot of passion and desire and sort of romance and like poetry about the connection. And the reason I feel like it ends quickly is because of this vulture card, which is connecting back to death, right? And I think that you are a very romantic person in general. I mean, like, that's just your energy. Poetic could be another way of describing it, with Oscar Wilde coming out. I think that you're very intelligent, and you have a really sharp way of expressing yourself. I think some of you might be very creative and artistic. You might use writing with Oscar Wilde and the knowledge with the book. You might use writing to express yourself. I think that you have a strong passion. Like, when you are, whatever it is that you're interested in, it is 100%. There's two that you've got, the fire card, and the strength card has the fire symbol on it. So it's like this burning desire inside you. And I feel like I think that you obviously are attracted to people's looks. We're all attracted to people based on their looks, but what really is the clincher for you is how deep they can get with the whale. Like, can they go down to the depths? Can they like not only be physically attractive and be really sensual and like get really close, like on an intimate level, but can they also do that emotionally? I think that really, really, really like gets you fired up, which I really, really like. I feel like your tastes are changing too. I do get the sense that you're at a crossroads right now, that you're shedding your old skin for what, with this snake on the devil card, you're shedding your old skin of what you used to need to sort of be attracted to someone and get fired up. Like, it might have been a situation before where you were like interested in what they look like and, you know, their titles, like do they have nice clothes? Do they have a great job title? Do they have their own place? Like, all of sort of the things that are connected back to the ego, which have their place. Like, those things are awesome. But now you're diving in deeper. It's like deeper than just the luxuries. Although you don't want to give these things up either. You like nice restaurants and nice vacations and like nice clothes, and you like all of that stuff. You want your dreams fulfilled, but you want more substance than just that. It's not going to be enough for someone to just look good. They have to have more than that. And I feel like you also, not only do you like to have sort of like a storybook romance, like you want to be swept off of your feet, you sweep people off of their feet too. Like, when you set your gaze on someone, it's like laser focus, and they feel like they're on top of the world. Like, they really feel like so special, right? In your gaze, in your eyes, they feel like they've never been loved or seen the way that you see them. you make them feel like they're your dream come true. And I think in the moment they probably are, but I do get this sense that in the past at least, and like I said, for some of you, you're shifting away from this, they were your ideal. They were your dream person. But then something shifted and maybe reality set in, like you were, the honeymoon phase is where you kind of wanted to stay. And then when things got sort of real and there was like, dirty dishes in the sink, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. And you ended it. Or, it could also be a situation where you wanted to just transition into becoming friends is the energy I'm also getting with this 3 of Pentacles, because this can also be talking about collaboration. So it might be a situation where you have a lot of friends that have this passionate energy towards you. So it might be like they're waiting for their chance, but I don't think they're gonna get it. Like I don't get the sense that if oh my god, this says true friends stab you in the front. But my eye was drawn to the friends. I feel like if you friend zoned someone, they're staying there. It's not just because it has nothing to do with you being ready or not ready for a relationship. They're in the friend zone because you're never going to see them as anything other than friends. And some people might see that as sort of devil energy. This is a slight variation on something that came out in one of the earlier piles. I think that you're honest with people, like, I only see us as being friends. And some people may have thought, well, I'll be able to, prove myself. I'll be able to work my way out of the friend zone. And then they get sort of angry at you and they're like, they see you as this devil energy. But it's like, no, you're in the friend zone because that's all I see you as. It's not like they're kind of turning it something into something toxic when it's like, if the spark isn't there for me, I'm not going to fake it. And I think maybe you're coming to a place where you get that that's a them issue and like you don't need to feel guilty about it. If anything, you should be thanking them because they've revealed that they're toxic. Like if they're angry at you and want you to basically put your own feelings aside and just date them anyways just because they want you, that's really toxic individual. Yeah. I also get this sense that you may be a bit intimidating, especially from this vulture and the whale card. Like you might be a little bit larger than life. So, and I get that too from Oscar Wilde. Like I can only imagine what it must have been like to be in his presence and to spend time around him. He was probably someone who really took up all the space in the room, like all eyes on him, just flamboyantly dressed. And I imagine amazing stories. And I kind of get that energy from you as well. Even if you're not sharing amazing anecdotes and stories and telling all kinds of jokes, you just have this presence about you that it's like, you're like this whale in this sea of minnows. You also seem to have this, like, with the knowledge, the whale is also giving me deep wisdom. It's not just that you know a lot of facts, that you know a lot of things. You have analyzed it. Yeah, and this book actually says Book of Destiny. I think you know where you want to go in life. And you might have known where you wanted to go from very early on in life, and that might also be very intimidating, where you have a goal and you're going to work diligently towards it, where like other people might be like going and spending all of their time sort of partying or going out, and you're like, you do that on occasion and you do that maybe once a week, where your friends are doing it like 4 times a week, and you're like, no, I'd really like to work on my music, or I'd really like to paint or write my book. And they're like, I feel like in a way they demonize you for that, But it's really their own insecurity, because they would be working on their passions if they knew what their passions were. All they know is that they're, you know, they feel best if someone is in love with them, and you don't need that. Or maybe you did need it in the past and now you're not needing it as much. I definitely get this real Venus energy from you, though. Like, I think that you're a very conventionally attractive person. I feel like there's something unique about you. Like, you might like be presenting yourself in a way that's like unique to your community or your area or your group of friends. Like, you're wearing like clothing that is, you know, you've made it your own, or you know, maybe you have a different heritage too. Like, maybe this is a situation where you are, you know, from a different ethnic background, and everyone else is like the same, and you're slightly unique and different, and that really makes you stand out. Or you're making yourself different and unique. Different colors of hair. Maybe you have a lot of tattoos. Maybe you have piercings, or you make your own clothes and you make things that are really vibrant. Like, I just can't get past that energy with this Oscar Wilde, as well as the flirtation card has a lot of color and like a real romantic vibe to it. And there's also imagery on here that looks like tattoos. So that's really, really cool. I really like that. You might have a slight witchy aesthetic too. That's strongly coming forward, because there's a knife on this card, and it's an anthem. It's used in witchcraft to focus energy when you're doing spellcraft and ritual. I also get this energy that you might be someone who, like, people do not want to mess with, right? Like, that kind of like, I'll cut you kind of vibe. Like, don't mess with me. And you might have had situations where people don't approach you because it's like resting bitch face kind of energy, which I love. I had that issue for a long time. I just never realized. I just hadn't really thought that much about like how my face was sitting. And now I think that I smile most of the time now. Just because I like being happy. But like, you may just like not give an F, and you have this like sort of stern look, or this don't mess with me or I'll cut you kind of vibe. And people are like so intimidated, and they think that you are not a nice person. And I get the energy that you're very compassionate. I mean, I also get that resting bitch face from the Vulture card. Vulcan, that's interesting. Yeah, you might have this like lock your emotions away kind of vibe, because Vulcans, like from Star Trek, that is so weird that would come out of my mouth channeled message. But I think that you have deep empathy, deep compassion. You just sort of lock it away. That is so cool. Okay, let's get some more cards. Let's find out a little bit more about you might be able to read people really well too. You might be an empath, so you're reading people's energy, and those that just don't like cut it in terms of the vibe check, you're just like, I don't need to like try and make you feel comfortable. I don't want to fake it. So what else can you tell me about pile number 3? What is their spicy devil energy? What is pile number 3's spicy devil energy? Okay, so you got morning glory, darkness in light, affection. Yeah, like I'm strongly getting sort of this like witchy vibe, maybe like sort of a punk aesthetic, like sort of dark, brooding energy. Like I can't get past that, and now it's like definitely backed up with this particular card. I think you're super compassionate and super loving, but you've learned to maybe either use your facial expressions, your body language, or your clothing to keep people at arm's length. Like if I dress intimidating or I look intimidating and like people see me like that, it will cut out a lot of the riffraff, the people that may like either, want to do harm to me. And those that get through or those that are like me are likely people that have a good heart. You got cherry blossom, fleeting things, appreciate the moment. That is that energy I was picking up on, where I feel like it's like short-term love affairs. And maybe you love it that way. Maybe it's like, this sort of like vacation or summer romance kind of vibe, where it's like, it's fun and you never get to the point where it just has that slow trickle until it's finally dead. It's just passion, 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 and then you're off to the next adventure. I think that's very romantic. I like that energy because it's a sign that you're okay on your own. Not that you're interested in the drama. It's that you're just in it to experience the passion and the fun. It doesn't have to be more than that. It doesn't have to be a situation where you're imagining, what the names of your children are going to be and like what the wedding is going to be like, and you're on date 4, you've been dating for 2 months. It's like, no, let's just be in the moment. Let's like have amazing, intimacy. Let's explore that. Let's have lust, passion, desire. Let's go out and have fun. And, we can just leave it at that. And if we make it to whatever this end goal is, that some people sort of script out for themselves, amazing. And if we don't, and it's just like a summer of passion and amazing food, that's good too. You got bleeding heart, emotional rejection, broken heart. You've broken some hearts. I think this attitude has broken some hearts. Like I was saying before, I feel like you have had people that wanted to be your one and only, and they settled for the friend zone, and they never got out of it, and they were just like pining away. And it's like you broke their heart, but like if the spark isn't there, the spark's not there. You got geranium, unexpected meeting or visit, a lack of sense. So, I mean, there could be situations where you may have made rash decisions, like in terms of a career change, like quitting your job to like move to a different, to get a job somewhere else, but you hadn't really like, done your checks and balances to make sure that, you liked the next staff as much as the people you were leaving behind, or they were, like the location was good or the pay was good, like something like that. Or it could have been a situation where it's like you let your lust take over and you like broke up with someone for someone new, and the new person was like maybe, all looks and no brains, and that's kind of important to you. There's something about in the past you kind of like made rash decisions. Then you got fairy tale cactus, fantasy and danger. Oh, so some people might see you as sort of like their fantasy and a little bit dangerous. I'm getting sort of this like pixie dream girl type energy. Not that that's who you are, but that's how other people might see you. Like you're a little bit different and unique. You're I'm getting just like a wild and free kind of energy, and maybe a little spontaneous, or maybe a lot spontaneous, and people are so interested in that. But I also get this sense that that is part of the problem, where like they're interested in you for what you bring to the table, but they're not bringing any of that same energy. It's like, yeah, you're like, let's go skinny dipping and let's just like, pack up and go to the airport and just book a flight to like, the cheapest flight, wherever we can go, let's just go. And that's exciting for them, because you're like expanding them beyond what they're used to, but it's holding you back. You're bringing them forward, but it's holding you back. You need to have someone who's already meeting you on your level. And it's been a situation where you realize that and you break up with them, and then it sort of breaks their heart. You've got mugwort, increase awareness, banish fatigue. You may be going so hard with some of these like passion projects and some of these like ideas. I feel like you're a very creative person. You have a lot of ideas and you're like going from one thing to the next, and the next, and the next, and the next. And you might go until you like literally burn yourself out. And it could be wise of you to sort of pay attention to your energy. It can also possibly be wise to start paying attention to other people's energy. You know, like maybe if somebody has a crush on you and you kind of know that, you might have to just like nip it in the bud. You might just need to say to them, I'm sorry. Like, I need you to know that we're only ever going to be friends, because they may not even be bringing it up, but you can just get that vibe. That might be really awkward, but you'll work into that as you get, you know, further on in your journey. Or you just don't hang out with people that you know are secretly in love with you. I mean, like, I hate to say this. I mean, like, it sucks, but honestly, I'm speaking from experience. If you're not interested in someone, especially if you're a woman and these are men, don't be friends with them. Like, they're like, unless they're extremely emotionally mature, they're not gonna get over it. And if you start dating someone else, you're gonna immediately be devil energy to them. You know, like, there's just no upside to it. Now it's possible that it's like they had a crush on you in high school and now you're like in your 30s and it's fine, right? But you'll know what I mean. You know the kind of energy I'm talking about. Okay, so let's get a couple more cards. I want to get some cards to find out like how you can best use this energy to your advantage. Like, how can you use your spicy devil energy to sort of like get, like, have more success and like have fulfillment and get the things that you want. Okay. Okay, yes. All right, so basically the general energy I'm getting is that there's people in your life that are stuck, right? You have friends, or you have, you're in relationships, you're dating people who are kind of stuck in their energy. They're like not necessarily taking action on their dreams. They are in this sort of like poverty mindset of the Five of Pentacles. Like maybe they're in victim mode still. They're feeling like nothing is working out for me and I have no opportunities and it's out of my hands. You're being guided towards moving away from that energy with the Knight of Pentacles. Start taking action on your goals, and if they can't match your energy, then it's time for them to sort of drift out of your life, because there's going to be other people that can match your energy. They are balanced energy. They want to collaborate with you. They want to work with you. And you might find a lot of people that are sort of stuck in their energy. Lots of people are in the shadow. Like, most people are in this shadow, and they're embodying this energy that the world isn't fair and that they have no opportunities and there's no possible way out of this. And that can benefit them, because then they don't have to take any action. And you're going to have to be strong and walk away from that energy. But like, grab onto the people that are doing things, and be loyal and supportive of them. And you will find not only that balance inside you, but you're also going to create beautiful art. I get the energy that for many of you, you're going to be building and collaborating with others. And it's going to, once you start making those decisions, just like moving away from anyone who is stuck or is, you know, showing red flags, right? You can use your discretion on what a red flag is, but it's going to be like this groundbreaking change for you. The Tower, as well as the Eight of Wands. So fast-paced change into alignment, and this is like happy shifts and changes. Like everything that didn't work is all of a sudden going to crumble away, and you're just gonna be left with all the power and strength and the color and the vibrancy and the love that you've been seeking. You know, like this might, for some of you, this might require a shift in location. I get the energy that for some of you, you're going to be moving. So maybe you are moving for a job, maybe you're moving for school, but I feel like it's literally going to be moving, some sort of like shift. And so this might be a situation where you are leaving behind some of your, you know, friends from high school or friends from college, and you're moving on to grad school, or you're moving on to a career, and you're going to be meeting new people. But it's all for the best. Like this is really going to help you to like create something. Like I feel like this Tower energy, this positive Tower, isn't just going to be shifting life for you. It's going to be shifting life for a lot of people. Like you might be creating something that affects all of us. That's really exciting. Woo, I like it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I would love to know your thoughts on it. If you want to share how this fits into your life and how, you know, you embody your spicy devil energy, I would love to know. You can comment, or if you don't want to comment, maybe you could like the video or share it. That would be really cool. Please subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you guys as part of the family. And if any of you guys are interested in working with me, you can go to my website, odessamall.com. I do tarot card readings, spiritual coaching, Reiki, past life readings, and channeled sessions with your spirit guides. So once again, this was a total pleasure. I really enjoyed this reading, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Take care.